Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Diana. You can call me Diane or D or Di. That's okay with me. So today we're going to discuss about living in the UK and here in Australia. We used to live in the UK for a few years before coming here in Melbourne. So I'm just going to discuss to you about the difference of the living in those two places. So first is, I'm going to mix Tagalog and English anyway, okay? So first is the weather. So the weather is like, in the UK, meron din silang 4 seasons, same as here in Melbourne. But it's so much colder in the UK. So much colder. Like, pag winter, it's really definitely winter, and you can see it's snowing and, frosty yung mga car. You have to scrape it, or you have to get a spray to get rid of yung mga frost sa car mo before you go to work, stuff like that. And it's also rainy, like it's just wet and miserable for me. And dito naman sa Australia, it's like when it's summer, it's really summer, especially here in Melbourne. Sometimes we get really really hot weather, but the good thing in Melbourne is we have, like they said, we have like 4 weathers in one day, and that's really true. I thought it's just a hearsay, sabi-sabi lang, but since I lived here, it's true. Like in one day you can have 4 seasons in one day. So yun. So it's the weather-wise, I would say it's so much better here in Melbourne or here in Australia, kasi we have so much outdoor games, especially even if it's spring or autumn or even winter time, it's not that cold severe. If we want to see snow, we have to go to the mountains, and we have to drive for a few hours to be able to see the snow. But sometimes may hailstone naman, yung ganon, but it's not as severe, it's not as cold as the UK. So yun, sa UK kasi pag sabi mo weather, it starts to 2 digits na, like 10, 20 degrees like that or more. It's like fiesta fiesta na talaga doon sa kanila. So it's like everybody will be taking their top off and lying on the park already, something like that. So yun. So weather, outdoor activities, you can see here in Australia or Melbourne, you can see so many people like playing in the park. Sometimes they're doing like fitness thing, like group exercises. I have never seen that kind of thing going on in the UK. And cycling as well. People like to cycle, like magbike dito sa Melbourne. And even yung mga cars, they pay too much attention sa mga cyclists. Like they give a distance sa mga cyclists in the UK, like nakakatakot magbike kasi it feels like they just don't have a care, or I feel that way anyway. So when I was there, because I used to cycle going to work on the first few years I was in the UK. So, and then space. So in the UK, houses are very congested. Like houses outside, you can see them like they're almost the same. The way they look outside, they're almost the same, and it's like matchbox. Very little. The space you have in that your house is just too small compared here in Melbourne or here in Australia. We have big houses, and we can build a house from the scratch, and we can choose the builders, we can choose the designs we want, and we have bigger lands, we have bigger backyards, and we have the option to choose if you want a new house, it's a modern house, like in America and some houses in the Philippines, like that. In the UK, it's like all bricks and almost the same sizes. And even when we have parties, especially during winter time in the UK, so it's like everybody will be inside the house kasi nga malamig. So it's like everybody is like squishing themselves, and like kids will be on the stairs in the house, sitting and eating at the same time, and everyone's just squishy in the house like that. So here in Australia, in Melbourne, houses are big, so even if it's cold or rainy outside, we can still do a party inside the house. And we have plenty of space. We have two lounge and a big dining area and al fresco and a backyard, and it's just the space is just huge. Like I'm pretty sure if you put the map or yung ilalagay mo ang UK in Australia, it's like 30 times bigger. Ganon talaga kalaki ang Australia. That's probably why we have bigger houses, bigger lands, because Australia is just huge itself, yung land area niya. And then next is food. I love food. That's what I want, really. Yung pagdating namin dito sa Melbourne, I was so amazed. We went to the wet market. It's like in the Philippines, like when you go in the wet market, the fresh fish is just there, crabs, shrimps, whatever you want, and the gulay, the veggies. It's like you're in the Philippines. It's like everything is just here, even mangoes, fresh mangoes. Oh my God, I love mangoes, especially during almost pa summer na. Ang sarap ng mango dito. It's very sweet and it's fresh. And yung mga veggies talaga na nakikita mo sa Philippines, you can buy it fresh here in the market, and that's what I really want. Fresh, ang daming fresh food. Compared sa UK, most of the time, it's all frozen, or if I want something fresh, I have to travel quite far to be able, and selected lang yung mga places na may mga fresh foods, fruits and veggies, and yung mga meat products sa UK. So but here it's like, it's just really close. You can just go, whenever you want, apart from now, obviously, kasi may restriction dito sa Melbourne. So yeah, so the food is like you can eat whatever you want. Work-wise, so I'm working here as a nurse. When I came here from the UK, I had a working visa. So the hospital here in Melbourne sponsored me straight away, so I had a working visa when I came here from the UK. My work na ako straight away. I just rested for a week, just to get settled and get my stuff and get a house and rented house initially, and then get everything sorted, and then after a week I started work. And then work-wise, it's very good. I don't have any complaints. Ratio is like so much better as well. Like in the UK, we have so much patience for one nurse. Luckily, I was working in a high dependency ward in the UK, so it wasn't really that bad. Like it's 1:1, 1:2, the maximum. I think it was like over 10 years ago anyway, but I think 2 is the maximum I was looking after. It was high dependency ward anyway. So, but I think in a normal ward, it's like, I can't remember really, but I used to do bank shifts, it's night shifts, and it's like 20 patients, I think, or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, in one night or something like that. So here it's like 1:4 during the day, and during the night is to 1:7, 8 maximum. Or sometimes if you work in rehab, it's a little bit different. You have a little bit more patience. So nurse patient ratio is so much better here in Australia. Wages, it's like double. I don't know now in the UK, but like 10 years ago when I was there, when I came here, it's like 10 times. No, not 10 times. Like it's double. Like anong wage ko doon sa UK is like, I thought I was just doing a volunteer work when I was in the UK. I thought, oh my God, I wasted too much time in the UK. I should have just come straight away, and I would be able to save up already that quick. So wages is so much better here dito sa Australia. Okay, so no regret with the wages. And what else? I've got a little And sometimes, in my hospital where I work, like if we get too busy, we have like a resource nurse, we call it. Like if we get too much busy, we call this as a person, another nurse, which is just a floater around the hospital, and she helps out with whatever you want help from, So long service leave, we have a long service leave here, and that accumulates. Like if you work for 10 years in one hospital, you get specific weeks of leave entitlement, which is really good. Like I think if you work for 10 years in specific in one hospital, you probably get about 16 weeks or something. I'm not really sure, something like that. And then we also have a superannuation, which usually the employer pays for it. In the UK, if I remember, it's our contribution. Yung wages natin nadideduct doon yung pension natin. But here the employer pays for our superannuation, so which is good. It doesn't get deducted. So whatever percentage of our wage doon gina base ng employer how much ibabayad niya sa super natin. So yun, study days. There's more study days here in Melbourne, here in Australia, and there's more opportunities for us nurses to upgrade, to get a higher position, things like that. We get more opportunities, and it's multicultural. Like if sometimes you work in one shift, so there's so many nationalities, or like different nationalities or different nurses in one shift. Ganon siya kakwan. Ganon siya ka multicultural. And what else? Wages, fruits, and study days, and with the healthcare system as well. So we have like a public health system as well, but we have the option to do a private health insurance. So there's a gap, a limit kung whatever is your earning in specific year, both of you, husband and wife. If you reach that limit, they encourage you to to get a private health insurance, which is deductible to your tax rebate anyway. Like the government will pay you back. So at the end of the year, you do your tax return, you always get money back from your from the tax office, which is really good. So it's good in a way. So some will we have a private health insurance because that's our choice. So everyone has got, even if you don't have a private insurance, it's okay, because the government will pay for everything as long as you're a permanent resident, as long as you're a citizen here in Australia or in Melbourne. You can avail the free healthcare system here. Okay, so wages, school, very good as well. Like we also have private school and public school here, so or Catholic school. So you can put your children whichever school you want, and it's affordable. So anyway, yun, I think I went through most of yun. So, and also traveling. So maybe UK is better if you want to travel around Europe, and or around sa America, because it's closer. Australia medyo isolated kami, so but we're very close to the Philippines. Like it's only 7-8 hours straight direct flight to the Philippines, so it's really good. So like during emergency time, it's just there's no hassle. In the UK, it's like 24 hours before you from the UK to the Philippines, like almost 24 hours. And even me, when we came here from the UK to Melbourne, it took us like almost 24 hours to get here. It's like three different flights. And what else? So but we're close to Asia, like if you want to travel to different just Asia, that's okay. That's no worries. So cost of living is good. I would say it's really good. We get paid every fortnight here, which is every 2 weeks. It means every 2 weeks we get paid, In the UK, we get paid every last Thursday of the month. Isn't it heartbreaking? Imagine every fortnight here. And sometimes if you have two jobs, the one job get paid like this week, and then the other job get paid next week. So it's like every week you get paid, you know. But I stopped doing second job anyway. So I used to, but now I stopped doing it. It's too much for me already. So, but anyway, so it's like, you know, you always have something with you. In the UK, it's like every last Thursday of the month. So sometimes on a Thursday, on a December, Christmas time, you know, they tend to give your wage a little bit early, you know, for consideration, because it's Christmas time. So it's not the last Thursday of Christmas. So you tend to get your wage like before Christmas. And sometimes on January time, sorry, my dogs are too loud. So anyway, by January, you have to wait for the last Thursday of January. Sometimes it's like 6 to 7 weeks before mag-wage ka. It's like, oh my God, I need some money, like that already. So yun. So every 2 weeks we get paid here in Melbourne. I think some companies get paid every week, but for us nurses we get paid every 2 weeks. And yun. So my conclusion is I'm not biased. If you think different from me, I am just you know, from my experience. That's why I'm doing this. So if you think your experience is different, then fine, do your own vlog. This is mine. So I think my conclusion is, I therefore conclude that living here in the UK, not UK, but living here in Melbourne or living here in Australia is better than living in the UK. Yeah, we've lived in the UK for 9 years, and we lived here in Australia, Melbourne. We've never moved state. We lived here in Melbourne for more than 10 years already, and we had our citizenship We had our citizenship in the UK. So even if we did not like here on the first few months or first few years when we were here in Melbourne, we could always go back to the UK. But we hope to stay here in Australia because it's so much better and it gives us satisfaction. And I don't have anything bad to say about the UK kasi I've gained so much experience there, friends, and I've traveled as well, so I have good experience in the UK. So eventually, hopefully, if things get better with the COVID and stuff like that, I really want to go back and see my friends and everyone else in the UK. And my daughter, she was born in the UK, so she loved to see what the UK looks like. And yun, so yun lang. So for me, for anyone that's thinking about there's so many nurses during my time who moved from UK to Australia, different states. So there was really like such a scarcity of nurses in the UK that time kasi ang dami talagang nurses from the UK who moved here in Australia because the life, wage, everything is so much better here compared to the UK. That's why we moved here. But yun, so living here in Melbourne, Australia is so much better. I've never lived in other state, so I can't really say how they are. But I've traveled to Sydney, Adelaide, and I think that's it. I'll try to travel some other state after the COVID finish, and hopefully one of my bucket lists is to go back to the UK and travel more because it's around Europe. If you're single Oh my God, living in the UK is good, but working wise, I would say not really. So anyway, yun lang naman. So if you like this video, please thumbs up, subscribe, or comment. No violent reaction, just a pleasant reaction please. Kasi nakaka-wrinkle sa mga violent reaction. Ang violent reaction na lang is just at the back of your mind, okay? Just don't type it. Is it just at the back of your mind? Keep it at the back of your mind. Yung mga good vibes lang, okay? And if you think I said something different, you know, from what is, just do your own blog, okay? Just do your own blog and contest dito sa vlog ko. Thank you very much. I hope you like this video, and if you do, I said subscribe, share, and I'll see you on my next one. I love you all. Thank you. God bless talaga. Bye-bye.